for that. So basically, I just give you guys an introduction on how where your UX team helps us in achieving our desired goals in products and services, right? And most of the times it's undermined by whatever efforts you guys have. So we'll show how your contribution is helping this fight. Okay, so I'll just give you my experience, right? Like when I started back in 2008, I was working for one of the large companies in India, and we were working for top 4 audit companies in US. So it was a big project. We had got a project, and we had 15 members, developers in the team, and we did not have any dedicated design team as such, right? Back in 2008, everything was, we thought. At least our seniors thought that design team is not required, right? So they used to have, because it was an audit company, top 4. So they were very precise in they wanted everything to be tracked, requirement gathering has to be perfect, traceability matrix, and I don't know, so many deliverables. And back then it was even worse, right? It was waterfall model. You get the product after 6 months or 8 months, right? Then let's see something is happening. So we had got a project, and we were all happy, and we were all put into the project has started, right? So they had a challenge basically. They had 2 internal teams who they wanted them to use a common platform. So both of those are using a different platform, and they wanted to have a common platform. So during the initial requirement phases, right, as I said, right, extensive requirement documents, traceability matrix and stuff. But surprisingly, the mockups and stuff, right, it was done in Paint, Excel sheets and all, right? I don't know, 2008. I don't know if UX has gone off, maybe the company was not doing it, right? So it was very surprising now when I see that, right? Like, how far we have come across. And then the business analyst used to do, and we got a set project for 1 year for 50 with a 50 developers project. And the first time the client sees this project or on screen was after 6 months. So imagine 15 developers working on it, and after 6 months the users get to see what is being built. The platform had we had achieved so much technically. We had this all whatever at the time, right, load balancing and all the technical stuff. We learned a lot. But a disaster, I would say, right? Like we had nice outings and stuff for 1 year, because you're getting this project for one year with 50 developers. It was crossing more than 1 million, right? And then after a year, we got it was as you could guess, right? There was for the platform had too many clicks, navigation was complex, and what the worst was, they scrapped the project. For so much effort that was put into, right? So looking back, right, we delivered. I mean, from our standpoint, right, nothing was like we don't do anything wrong, right? Whatever was asked of us, we gave it, and they also did not have a reason for us to blame or anything, right? Like because we delivered what was expected. But back then, the design was the end users were never involved in any stages of the development, or they could not see the mock-ups, or after 6 months they used to see the screens, right? So looking back, right, so it was I would say that we could have done a lot better, right? And the key lessons is we did so many technical stuff, right, but without involving your users and seeing the screens, right, so it doesn't make sense for them to see in the end, right? So that was something key lessons that we learned. And now what we have done is, right, like in Bixbyte, we involve everyone during the requirement phase itself. We get involved, and then we show them what is the outcome going to, and they will not be great surprises, right? So we try to involve our Coco Grid team even for any products that we have, right? We thought even though we have so much experience, right, but the basics sometimes we lose out, right? When a basic, right, like from the technical side, what we feel is, right, at the end of the day, it should serve the purpose, right? That's all we think. A basics, like when we have recently, after so many things, that we designed a product feature that it had just 2 options, right? But we, as a product team, gave a drop down, right? it would have been a check and then we got it reviewed, they suggested, then I thought, even after so many experience, so much years of experience, we do these silly mistakes, right? So what we do is in Inspire is for every project, no matter how big or small, we involve a Coco Grid team, and they provide us the consultation, and they take the project to success. So I just explained how what we have done, right? Now my colleague Vittal will tell you what are the processes we follow to get it, get the process done. Thank you.
Hello. Yes. So from 20 pictures to project hours. My name is Vittal, so I head the project management team at Inspire Solutions. So I am going to talk about the evolution of our design team today. So already I think Vivek spoke already like designers at first, right? So yeah, at one point in time, when I take you back few years, like the big spikes, the design team, they were doing the visuals, like unique screens for the IT projects. Like it's kind of making it look nice. That's the only thing that they used to do. So as you said, right, they might have been cursed or something like that. But we did not allow to continue that way. We understood very quickly that design is not just about colors or fonts or so on. Design can actually define the product. So we got bold. We understood very quickly that design can do more, and spoiler, it did. So we introduced new processes, new steps. We brought the design right into the requirement gathering phase. So as a result, there was less chaos and more clarity. Okay. As a first step, we started with mind maps. So mind maps are nothing but you build, you have to map first. So when a client says, I want to build an app, just like Uber, but for pets and also for groceries. So we say, okay, we can do it, but let us first build or map your madness. So that's the first step that we took. So we visually broke down the vision of the client into features, and we also exposed gaps, and so mind maps is nothing but it's actually a therapy but with boxes and arrows. As a next step, we started with user flows and app map. So first we should know why are we building the product, right? So once we know that, it's very easy for us to develop it. So for those, we define user flows and app maps. So we got a clarity on what is the idea of the client and also how we can map the requirement into an application. Then we started with wireframes and thinkable prototypes. So when we go to any function, first thing that we do is we do some rehearsal with our guests, right? So we go to our room, we open the wardrobe, we pick what is the best colors that we can wear for the function and it fits us or not. So we do all these trial and error methods, we do some rehearsals. So same way, when we are building a huge product, right, we just have to make these kind of rehearsals. So we have a passionate designers, talented designers with us, so who can do all these things. So first thing is they pick right colors, they pick right kind of typography, and they actually design these kind of wireframes and clickable prototypes. So you don't believe, like some of our clients actually demoed these kind of prototypes and their end customers didn't even realize that it's a wireframe. They thought it's an actual application. So even before we code a single line, so clients are already happy seeing that how their vision is shaping up. Okay? So once the wireframes are done, then we move on to the visual direction. So where we actually define the brand. So what is the colors that the brand represents? What is the typography that we have to use? So it's a perfect documentation of how the brand will look like. This will solve many of the clients will be having some assumptions there about their product. They imagine something and they wanted to see something else. But when we have this kind of a documentation in front of them, right, there is no more kind of a thing like, okay, can I have red instead of green? Can this be that? So there is no more assumptions when we give the UAT to the client. So it's all defined, it's all predefined in the design stage itself. After the visual documentation, so we go to the visual rollouts. So visual rollouts are not just about the pretty pictures, but but it's actually a guide for the developers. Like they know exactly what they are going to develop. So once it is developed, how it is going to look like. So these visual roll-ups, every unique screen of the application or the product is being designed. So this visual rollout will act as a toolkit for the developer so that they will know what to develop. After the visual rollout, the design team, right? So they put up an entire design system in form of a UI kit. So when the developer is developing, they don't have to worry, they don't have to run here and there to understand whether a table is center aligned, right aligned, left aligned, what are the reusable components in here, so on. So everything is clearly documented and it will be provided. So this kit the developer can keep with himself until the project is completed. It's very valuable to him now. So with all these processes and right steps and guiding and bringing the design phase from the requirement phase, right? So it was actually a big win for us because the design sets the stage for everyone. So when I say everyone, as a PM, right? So as a PM team, we know, like initially it is like we jot down the requirements in a note or something like that, and then we have to define the logic, we have to define the flow, and we have to make the developer understand what he has to develop and so on. Now it's very much easy for the PM. So we have all the functionalities, the logic, the flows, the navigation, everything is defined by the design team. So we just have to look at the designs and we have to document it in the form of a user story or a document or whatever the developer wants. So it's very very easy for the PM team to handle or pass on the requirement to the developers. Now when it comes to the developers, they also have a ready-made built-in system with them. They have the visuals for the ready-made screens. They have the design UI kit with them. They know what to use. They know how to build. And when they develop, they know what they have to compare it with before they say it is done and so on. And now with the same in the QA team also. For the QA team, they exactly know what done means. They can compare it. The base is already set by the design, so they can compare the developed screens with the design. They know the flows. They can easily understand where the flow is breaking, where the logic is being gone wrong, where the design elements are wrong. They have the base with them, so it's very easy for them also to understand. And for the client, they already know what to expect because the design has already been shown to them, it's been conveyed to them, they have agreed, so they know once the development is completed, how exactly their application is going to look like. So it's all part of like each and every one are very much clear on what to expect and how to develop and when to develop and what are the flows they have to take care. So that's the stage that design has set for us. Yeah, so that was a quick journey, like a visual add-on from the strategic align. That's how our design team evolved in the past few years. So we always say that design is just about colors and fonts and ideas. Like he said, whenever we ask what is design, we always say that it's creativity, it's ideas and so on. But design is more than that. Design can define a product. A good design isn't just a decoration, it's actually a direction. Design directs the product. So as a software service development company, right? So we all know that once our first impression is good, then the half of the job is done. It's just to follow from there and execute it better. So this first impression is always given by the design team. So they will show in such a way that the client will like it, and they are very much excited with the developed items because they already know what to expect. So design is something like that directs the product. So with that, I would like to thank you, and I hope it's helpful. Thank you.